Overheard some random dude on the subway today. Not sure if he was crazy, but this story isn't true anyway. So please don't accuse me of being insensitive. But he said to feed the machine, no matter who plants your dreams, just live for the peace, and the whole world will see. He said, deliver the heart and sing for the lost. Be sure to carry the sermon wide and love even when the reason dies. My honkies, my honkies, my honkies, my honkies. I'm allowed to say honky over and over again, so please don't ban me, because I barely see the sun and I look like powder from that film from back in 1995 when I used to have hair. I never knew why shaving your head might make others stare, or judge your general socio-political fanfare. The only reasons I scraped my brain helmeted skin is to eliminate the gray and to feel that clean Jersey wind, if that really was such a thing. But it is in fact called the Garden State, so I guess that really must be such a thing, at least in certain regions and wings. Someone actually once told me that I look like Rappaport from Higher Learning. Good movie, but I'm seriously not the type of guy who complains about some white man's burden or the white man's superiority shuffled subversion. Like that dude with the Viking helmet during that whole insurrection reckoning. He looked kinda cool, but I'd still be a bit hesitant to sit beside him at a pub and share a tonic and gin, like Billy Joel making love with all his piano man swagger, donning his critically acclaimed Captain Jack grin. But enough with all this political head spinning on a win. When I say honky, it's just meant to supply a laugh, or maybe even two or three until some might possibly pee their pants, like when I was a kid and my cousin Anthony impersonated Apollo Creed by yelling, I want you, and sadly I didn't make it to the toilet in time. Pissed down my leg, but it was well worth the cleanup in aisle 5, as this embarrassing memory now made it into this rhyme. Especially since my mind is currently in short supply of original vines to document these many ego-submissive whines. But Rocky is still one of the greatest movies to prime your spine. The underdog proud Guinea southpaw from South Philly that Bill Burr once mocked as a fictional messiah. But to be fair, his analysis was pretty spot on, for it's hard to deny the man love for that Italian-American icon. I did just refer to the mighty Rock as a guinea, and just said it again, which might seem sacrilegious and efficiently offensive, but I think I'm still allowed to promote such flippancy because my fam is from Sicily right off the boat, just like Vinny Paz and the Corleones. So hopefully I won't get a baseball bat to the chin if I chant my guineas over and over again, until my inner Joe Pesci suddenly kicks in, and I end up stabbing myself in the neck with a pen. Go home and get your shine box, I'd yell on the floor as I bled, as the other guineas cut some carpet to wrap my meatless bones in. And Sonny from the Bronx yells, put him in the bathroom. He's just a mush dressed in drag with no cannolis or prosciutto. But moving on now from those few racial slurs that I might be allowed to spew from my ironic disposition unlocked. If I ever transitioned to a lady, I'd surely name myself Goldilocks. And when I met those 3 bears, I quickly explained that I'm on a lot of different hormone treatments at the moment, and I pay them back when my refurbished pronouns are clearly and proudly paraded and espoused. But I'm much too lazy to shave my legs every day, so I'm just going to stick to whatever. Gone till November, whatever. The lunatic shouted while hemorrhaging, whatever. The honky guinea Mickey loves you son of a bitch cried when he finally flipped his uninsured lid and slid on down to take that Into the Blue trip before begging for voluntary organ auctioning. For now the blood and marrow is all I have to offer, because I plan to live long and prosper and find something relevant to rhyme with lasagna, Botswana, marijuana, Madonna, like a virgin watching a fish called Wanda, whatever, the junta, waka waka, Fozzie Bear soaking in Tijuana, whatever, Anaconda, deliver this verse from evil, god of thunder, lust the hunger, whatever, everyone across the scattered soil, please run and fetch the cucumbers. Be sure to carry the sermon wine and love even when the reason dies. Mr. Poopy Butthole is one of my favorite cartoon characters. Please let this verse go by quickly because I'm tired of all this Mr. Rogers delusionally perceptive trolley-doctored make-believe. Equally mentally distant and distracted through the flurry of some of these weak-sauce diatribes. But Mr. Rogers was a legit badass gangster, so I won't speak bad about that sweater-loving man who loved his neighborhood so much he shared the harmony with every stranger in the crowd. I wish he would have collaborated with Bob Ross and painted some majestic happy clouds, but I shouldn't really complain about all this dialectic drivel or diabetic fissure. But I really need that commercialized money tree and maybe just a few spoonfuls of that rage-induced creatine to better summon my inner gangsta naval fleet, and probably a little less time on all these landlocked itchy screens, for Big Brother might short sell on my dreams, utilizing a more feminine surveillance team. But still I search for some words to steam the stream, or is rapping like praying, because when I'm in rapper mode I might forget to pray for a few days, when I'd float out all those peace-loving vibes to Jews, Muslims, Christians, atheists, and Arrested Development fans, both the show and the band, whether straight, gay, somewhat curious, or trans. For there are many colors in that homo rainbow, to quote Diener and Jeaner, and the mighty boogness doesn't discriminate or bide time, saturated in fear and hate with stones and sticks, based on centuries of dishwashing politics. Whatever, underactive, overactive, whatever, maybe a thyroid radioactive, whatever, just another honky with a proper prep school backing, grounded on 2 feet with a show and tell, glossy bachelor's degree, and a lone wolf pristine and proud pedigree, whatever. Some advise to dress in layers and maybe even run for mayor, turn Camden into an East Coast artistic retreat, autistic and free, like Amsterdam seems to be, but the political science perspires like the relations foreign, and the communication falters like mazes and fields of corn, whatever. I guess the truth just must have misremembered, and the clocks still prefer to implement the never till the toilet seat, like the most apoplectic diss track ever, dismembers the gospel of whatever. So please, kids, seriously now, stay in school. Eat your carrots, take your vitamins, and pray to end all feuds. Always listen to your dare officers so you don't become another homeless tycoon raised by raccoons. Like those 2 dudes in Trading Places, quickly discovered and effused with that odor accrued through skunk perfume. As saving for rainy days can't always anticipate the pace, so stay off the rock and someday soon pay your dues. But don't get fooled by the comfort or the security, or that football player's envy-seducing salary, or those prearranged, rearranged, disengaged mutinies. For some will test and others will trigger, and even more will blame their illness on the shiver, just a sliver to reconsider, like the silver and malt liquor, or another Nolan Ryan no-hitter. Ventura should have really sprinted away less embittered, and broken the headlock to block his own boulevard. No shame in admitting weakness, crying uncle, or begging for the fullest range of motion for both legs upon both knees to the good Lord, who supposedly helps me help me, and also decrees that my hairline recedes, as the scavengers replace my testament and deed, intestines to need, amendments to plead. But my final will is easy. Just go ahead and burn me out on the high seas. But good old reliable Crohn's disease pushed 7 figures on that latest quarterly. As representatives to the malevolent queen now recycle us all like Soylent Green. That's an ancient cinematic reference, and I still haven't seen the whole movie. But cannibalism is the ultimate horror to try to intellectually eat. Are there any opposing opinions to transmit that feed regarding the nutritional benefits of consuming human beings? The Donner Party might be the first to rise and plant that seed, but desperate folks can't be trusted to sell those feverish policies. Like World War III or playing a carefree game of Monopoly. You'll even get to be the banker this time and park for free, but only if you keep the information unreleased within bleached industries and more government's grease. That last word does not refer to guineas, honkies, or any specific ethnicity, for we all roll the dice to buy the boardwalk police and the park place disease. Cut coupons with your teeth and frame those receipts. Kinko your dreams, kinko your meat, kinko your past, kinko your creed, and kinko your whatever. 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 All dogs go to heaven. I guess 3D printers will put us all out of business someday to better automate the rat race and pacify the NRA. Is this verse now finished like a Daniel Plainview reincarnated with a bowling pin drawn to better explain combustible zoning laws constructed within my mind to shine on like a crazy diamond? But seriously, that might be Daniel Day's greatest foray concerning the ethics of manifested destined greed versus the hocus pocus impact psychologically regarding any ism that features infallibility. But it's mischief night in New Jersey, and I've been on my porcelain throne for almost 20 minutes now, complaining about the rain. For all those on some buffer delay, I'm still trying to write without fretting the limits, but Freddy Krueger might be quite disappointed with some of my emulsified diction. Am I really back to counting the masturbatory meter to live minute by minute by minute by minute? Maybe I'll just wipe now and let someone else steer, for there's certainly a self-driving appeal for what is real and what gets concealed. I guess whatever works for each New Year's sacrifice. So whatever, even had a dream about this general outlook as a general warns from the lookout. But again, whatever. Just like the desert fish, the tangled, disjointed return of the desert fish. Whatever. Still like the desert fish. No more space in the brain for the fear to exist. So just evict it and let it slide and slip until someone else can try to figure out any of this existential dialysis. But I'm still going with the flow like the desert fish. Whatever. Striving daily to exhale outside that political split as the paradigms once again shift. Whatever, and all dogs still go to heaven. Whatever. Now I need to rise up because my bum is about to go uncomfortably numb. Just going to work out and pray so I can thrive in the Amazon. Whatever. The art might support me someday when the less neurotic glove fits, for when the expressions and alleged disgraces don't suit your face, the jury must acquit. Whatever. Time to view time as a gift, like an eternal quilt to keep your feet warm, or Beethoven's Fifth. Just put the phone away, Ray, for now the classical fish must pray for whatever. Be sure to carry the sermon wide, and love even when the reason dies.